Okay. The very first thing you're going to do, we have our tool that we're using, and we're going to start sectioning right here on the top, section 1. We're going to do, right now we're going to start with section 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the top and the 2 sides. And if you are someone that needs to just section with an all-purpose comb, I'm okay with that. I'm still stuck in my ways of using a tail comb. I'll use this side like for the combing and maybe starting my section, and then I'll use this side when I want to make a nice clean line and pick up hair. So practice what works for you, but when you're going to start wrapping your perm, you're going to want to use a tail comb, my opinion, and you're going to want to learn, not initially, but it's always nice when you can keep the comb in your hand while you're working, instead of putting it down, picking it up, putting it down, picking it up. So it's something that you can try to start to practice as we go along. Okay, so we're going to start on top. We're going to take our tool and we measure. How wide do I want this section to be, everybody? Say that louder. In between the 2 lines, no wider than the 2 black lines, okay? So that's how wide I want my section to be, and maybe even like a tiny bit in between that just to start until you get used to it. And this is going to be a really good time to start really working on nice straight lines, because it is going to matter when we're permanent waving. I don't have a mirror in front of me, but use your mirrors when you guys start this process. Okay, so you're just going to start your process. To me, this looks too narrow. And then always we can come back and remeasure. So that looks pretty good. Maybe a tiny bit more on this side. Okay, so there we go. Then the next space, this is the only one. This one and the one behind it are almost like the perfect square. So then you're going to measure from here to here, and you want it to be in between those 2 lines. Okay, so the next spot, still on top. So this one we measure the width between the lines, and we measure the length between the lines. However it works for you to, whether you're going to just use your comb. I'm a tail comb person. I'm not saying you have to, but eventually you're going to want to. Okay, so this is short. Work on your lines. Sometimes the dolls are stinkers because the plugs are weird. So sometimes don't fight it forever. Like, show us if it's showing like the plugs are weird and it's super hard to work with. Let us know. We can't just sit there and fight the doll all day long. You know what I mean? I don't want to see anybody have to do that. All right. Miss Brinson, can you tell like if I'm centered well from over there? Yeah. Just because I don't have a mirror. Use your mirrors, people. All right, so I'm going to section this. So this first one is the length and the width of right in between the 2 black lines. The other thing I want to see you guys do when you're going to section these off is control the ends of the hair and clip that in, okay?
Keep it that way.
That way? Mm-hmm. So come in here. Don't look at my back.
I wish this thing had wheels.
Wheels. And sometimes you guys, these dolls they're dolls. The heads are not put on right. I don't know what the heck happened to them. All right, So we already know that this is the right length, right? Because I measured it with my tool. Okay? Easy peasy. When you're going to be doing this particular section, there's a curve of the head right here. It's almost like a C shaping. So we're going to keep that energy going when we do this next piece. So you, again, if you're a person who parts with this and then just goes that way, or if you're going to be like me and do your tail comb, I don't care what. But what I'm going to ask you to do is put your finger right behind this ear so that it fits. I'm up against the ear, and I'm going to bring that line. You always want everything in your perm sectioning to be corner to corner. So I'm starting from this corner, and I'm just going to go to the finger, to where my finger is, and I'm just making a little curvature of the line for that C shaping. Comb this away. That looks awful. All right. Okay. Just a little bit more right here. Okay. Can you all see that it goes to the corners all meet right here from the parting? And can you see a slight curve like a C shaping, yes or no? And then can you see it's right here at this ear, like that, about my finger width? Yes? Okay. So then before you clip this one in, just to make sure, you're gonna take your rod and you wanna make sure that it's not wider than the two black lines the whole way. And see, you're going with the shape of the head all the way down. Does that make sense to you guys, kind of? Thumbs up, thumbs down. I love it. Because what do you guys think if this section's super wide? What's going to happen when I wrap it? Anybody? Say it loud.
It's going to be too mature, so like the hair will slip out.
Slip out, hang over, flop off, all that. You got it. All right. What the heck? What did I do? Okay. All right, just keep that combed back. I'm gonna just come to the other side. This side of her does look kind of wonky. What was I thinking? Could be her plugs. Let's blame it on her plugs. Her hair plugs. I always want to blame the client. That's my philosophy. Yeah, I really do blame the client. Well, why did you let your hair go like that? That's your hair's fault. Not my fault. All right, and then this one here. Put your finger behind the ear to know where you're going. Either use your tail comb or your comb. Remember, we're going from the corner of your section down to my finger, kind of like a C shaping with the shape of the head. It's minor. Before you clip it in, take your tool, make sure nothing's too wide. That one's close. But see right here as I follow, looks like I'm gonna be okay. Yes. Okay. Does anybody have any questions so far?